Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is the UFC 126 post-fight recap with Steady Bear Thunderheart. And wow, tonight's event was terrific. I really liked the event overall. And I exactly recall it has been a month since, or way over a month since I've actually done this recap. So, despite all the other projects that I've been doing as of late, it's really been paying off. And actually, I'll tell you about all these projects as soon as I get done with this event. I'll explain more in it in just a bit. But tonight, though, I really like the event overall, and I'm going to get started on reading this. So here you go. Mike Pierce versus Kenny Robertson, and the winner is Mike Pierce via knockout. Kyle Kingsbury versus Ricardo Romero, and the winner is Kyle Kingsbury via TKO, a 21-second beatdown. I mean, let's face it. I mean, Kyle Kingsbury was ready to fight, and boy, was he ready, because he just went after Ricardo, pressed him against the fence, hit him some good rib shots, right? A couple of powerful rib shots, hurt him pretty badly, and then even throw some good couple of knees to his legs, and then so when he went down, of course Ricardo went down holding his ribs, and then that's when Kingsbury started really pounding him, and that's when the referee was like, okay, enough. Let's stop this fight, and rewarded Kingsbury to win. So congratulations, Kyle Kingsbury, mind you, on such a 21-second knockout, TKO victory. So, and then Paul Taylor versus Gabe Ruediger, and the winner is Paul Taylor via knockout. Let's see, Norifumi Yamamoto versus Demetrious Johnson, and the winner is Demetrious Johnson, unanimous decision. So congratulations, Demetrious, on your victory. And then Chad Mendez versus Michihiro Omigawa. And so Chad Mendez, successful UFC debut, because he definitely won that via unanimous decision. Of course, like I say, UFC debut, not mixed martial arts debut, because he's a veteran for the WEC, which was formerly known as World Extreme Cage Fighting. So congratulations on Chad Mendez on your successful debut. And another person that made a successful debut was Donald Cerrone versus Paul Kelly, and of course the winner was Donald Cerrone via submission with a rear naked choke. I mean, let's just put it this way. And that wasn't like Paul Kelly didn't deserve that either. I mean, Paul Kelly, came out, and actually when they were supposed to touch gloves, the fool, Paul Kelly just threw a cheap shot and hit him in the face. And I mean, just cheap shot at him rather than touch gloves. He just gave him a cheap shot, so it was very unsportsmanlike, according to Joe Rogan, and I definitely agree with that. But nonetheless, I mean, of course, Paul Kelly was throwing some in good hands, and Donald Cerrone with his Muay Thai kickboxing background, of course, threw some great inside leg kicks and outside, going some good punches, some good knees. But overall, it went to the ground, and it was twirling over, and they started just twirling over. But however, Donald Cerrone ended up having a nice went to his back and actually got a nice rear naked choke on Paul Kelly. So Paul Kelly got choked out, and on top of that, he elbowed him, cut his eye up. So, like I said before, he forced him to tap out, and it wasn't like Paul Kelly didn't deserve it, because Paul Kelly shouldn't be a cheap shot artist like that, And then even after the match, even after the fight, he was all trying to say, "Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't mean to do it. It was just like this." I'm like, bullshit. Okay, look, you cheap shot at him. You got your ass kicked. Own up to it. Okay, you lost. Let's move on. Okay, you're a cheap shot artist. Let's move on. So Paul Kelly, yeah, I kind of lost a little respect for the guy. Sorry to say that. But Donald Cerrone, on a great successful debut, being another WEC veteran. So, and then the next match is Miguel Angel Torres versus Antonio Banuelos. Thank you. And of course, the winner is Miguel Angel Torres. I don't know why they call him Angel, but I guess they could just call him Angel Torres. Unanimous decision. Now, of course, Miguel was a former WEC bantamweight champion, so he has a lot of great experience. But of course, I didn't. This is my first time actually seeing him actually fight, and I heard that they were both exciting fighters, but none of them really fight an exciting fight tonight. But Miguel Angel Torres fought a very smart fight. I mean, lots of jabs, just sticking and moving, kicking the legs inside and out. And Antonio Banuelos just could not find any rhythm. He couldn't really close the distance. He tried swinging so widely, but he just kept missing most of the time, if anything else. And Joe Rogan was all saying the guy could not find any rhythm whatsoever. So needless to say, hey, Miguel got a good victory, unanimous decision. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, Antonio Banuelos needs to I don't know, he needs to do something to change his game plan if he wants to further his career. That's all I'm going to say on that. And Jon Jones versus Ryan Bader, and the winner is Jon Jones' submission with the guillotine choke. I mean, let's face it. I mean, these two were really hyped up. This was one of the most hyped up fight of the night. I mean, these two were really well hyped up. Both of them came with impressive resumes of the victories that they've had against other opponents in the past. And it was just time for whoever stepped up and whoever won was going to have a step-up ladder. Well, here's the thing. Of course, Ryan Bader was always looking for a nice right hand, but that was his problem. That was all he depended on because Jon Jones, took him down. And even though Ryan Bader tried to do the same thing, Jon Jones just really defended it by pressing his head and even reversing it on him and getting him to the ground instead. And getting him in trouble through side controls, through controlling the arm, trying to submit with the arms and everything else. But on top of that, though, overall, what happened was the reason how he got the submission was, he made a mistake and tried to take him down. Jon Jones reversed it, and he was trying to go for a side choke, but instead he reversed it and actually got him in a guillotine from the mount position and forced Ryan Bader to tap out. So congratulations, Jon Jones, on that victory. And also, and on top of that, Rashad Evans was recently injured with a blown knee. So the UFC management decided to give, well, not necessarily to give Jon Jones, but since Jon Jones earned that nice, awesome victory, well, why not give him a title shot for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against Mauricio Shogun Rua? Yeah, so he is a number one contender for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. So congratulations, Jon Jones, on such an awesome victory. It was a definitely emotional moment. I mean, hell, I almost started crying, to be honest with you. I'm a man and I'll admit to it. And real men can cry too, so don't judge me. In any event, and then of course, Jake Ellenberger versus Carlos Eduardo Rocha. And the winner is Jake Ellenberger, split decision. I mean, this was, let me put it like this. It could have gone either way with a split decision. But let me put it like this. If Carlos Eduardo Rocha would have done more ground game during any one of those rounds, he would have probably gotten a unanimous decision over Jake Ellenberger because the first round, I mean, he really gave him a jiu-jitsu clinic to this guy. Carlos, I mean, he had him all under control, and so Jake finally during the second round wised up and decided not to get in the ground game with him at all because the guy just looks like such a rookie in comparison to Carlos and higher level black belts. But unfortunately for Carlos, he didn't necessarily take it to the ground enough, didn't control him enough to get the split decision. But like I said, it could have gone either way. So congratulations, Jake Ellenberger, by barely making it by this match. Even though this was a fight, John Fitch, but that didn't happen either. Well, anyways, moving on to the main event in the evening, Forrest Griffin versus Rich Franklin. And the winner is Forrest Griffin, unanimous decision. I mean, these guys, Forrest Griffin definitely did some things that were unlike him, like taking it to the ground and grounding and pounding Rich Franklin, and then, mostly during the first round. And so, but of course, they kept swinging. They kept using leg kicks and everything throughout the fight. But Forrest Griffin, like I said, most of the first round was grounding and pounding him. And then even parts of the third round, he was grounding and pounding Rich Franklin too. So, needless to say, both of them were, like I said, were really strong, and they were fierce. They were fighting with each other, swinging and kicking and throwing high-level head kicks and so forth. But like I said, according to the judges, Forrest Griffin got it all. So congratulations, Forrest Griffin. After a year off, he's looking great. He's fought cautiously, but he won. So congratulations on Forrest Griffin. And the main event of the evening, the UFC Middleweight Championship. Anderson Silva, a middleweight champion versus Vitor Belford, and let's just face it, and we still have a middleweight champion, Anderson Silva. Yes, he won against Vitor Belford by a knockout. And what I mean by knockout, let's just put it this way. I mean, it just started, yeah, they first started like just measuring each other within the first, I would say, a minute to the fight, to the first round fight. And then things started going crazy when, of course, Belford threw the first leg kick, and Anderson Silva responded with a side kick to the knee. But needless to say, Belford rushed him and actually took him down, but Anderson Silva quickly got back up out of the ground. And let's just put it this way: they swung a couple more techniques, but of course Anderson Silva really caught him by surprise. A nice front kick, solid front kick right to the jaw of Vitor Belford. His head went boom, went back. He fell down. Anderson Silva hesitated a little bit, and then that's when he ran in a couple more punches. And the referee Mazagata was like, "Okay, stop." He stopped the fight, and so now still the UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva. And I mean, what else to say? I mean, Anderson Silva really did it this time. He's still the best in the world, and I mean in the world, not just in the UFC, because he's fought. I've seen all of his fights. He's fought all different parts of the world as well, and great against the best fighters on the planet. So he really has proven it. And it was also great to see action star Steven Seagal on the scene too. That was pretty cool as well. But I tell you one thing though, both of these men were very gracious in the very end of this fight, giving respect to each other, despite the fact they don't like each other, but yet the respect was there. So congratulations once again to Anderson Silva. And I'm going to tell you this: I'm going to have a commentary sometime this week in regards what I feel about Anderson Silva, where he should go down the road, and also too with Georges St. Pierre. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. In any event, that concludes this post-fight recap. Now, what I'm going to say tell you guys is like these projects that I've been working on like the past couple of months. Actually, the past little over a month, along with Rainbow Heart Freedom Eagle, or Rainbow, my business partner and my partner in love, and yeah, it's my wife too. She and I have been working on this project, has basically either doing vlogging or teachings to our new YouTube channel, or also the interviews too. We've been interviewing different people with different lifestyles, with different paths and different goals in their lives. So if you look up at the YouTube, at the bottom of the YouTube, at the description part of it, you check us out on our new YouTube channel at youtube.com/bear and rainbow. So, and these are the type of videos that we have that we put out every week, whether it's every Tuesday or Wednesday, either one of those days. When we choose one of those days to at least put out a new video each week. Like I said, whether it's a one-on-one conversation with a friend, or just a vlogging, or like I said, interviews with other people, and there'll be more videos that will be coming out too. So stay tuned for that. So. Anyways, I'm still hyped up. I need to calm myself down. I need to just take a deep breath and calm down before I go home. So, in the event, that concludes this post-fight recap. And I'm standing here at Thunderheart. And y'all, take it easy and good night. Healing, it is all that is.